Hi guys, and welcome to another episode in the kitchen with my burnt orange. Today we are using West African techniques and ingredients to make a vegan ravioli. Stay tuned. First off, measure up some flour. I'm using half a cup of plain flour and half a cup of semola flour. So we're just going to mix it up real quick. And you know what? To make it fun, I'm using hibiscus. And for added softness, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I love purple hibiscus, but it's not necessary. I just love working with greens and purples, and that's why I'm doing it. Feel free to or not. So you're just gonna mix up your flour and then begin kneading. It takes a little bit of patience, but it's all gonna come together. If you find that it's too dry, just put a little bit of water. I used about half a cup of moisture, and I just added it gradually until I got the consistency I felt was right. Now that it's kneaded, wrap up your dough in some cling film and allow it to rest for several hours. This will make the pressing and rolling of the dough much easier. The next thing we're doing is tapping into West African knowledge. Now in West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Gabon, other places, we have these pumpkin seeds or melon seeds known as Agushie. For all of you out there, an easy substitute is your regular green pumpkin seeds. To this I'm adding hemp seeds just because I've come across this ingredient recently and I love it. I love using it in tabbouleh if I'm making a keto version. Mix it up and whiz it into a powder in a spice grinder or a blender. The way Egusi is used in West Africa, it comes in a variety of ways, but one of the most common ways is to use the powder to make a paste and then stew it up where it begins to look like scrambled eggs, and it's the most lusciously soft and amazing texture that is added to stews. In other methods, it's actually mixed up and spiced up with different flavorants and then steamed like moin moin, and this is a common practice in Gabon and Cameroon. But today we are going to use this knowledge we have of Egusi to make a vegan ravioli. Now Egusi must be cooked, so what I'm going to do right now is quickly steam it in a microwave. Feel free to heat this up in a pot, and as with ravioli, I'm going to add the flavorants. I'm just adding some lemon zest I made from the other day. It looks a little bit dry, but it's still good. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, but not too much. I'm just going to gently build up the flavors of this vegan ravioli filling. You know, under normal circumstances, we'd be using ricotta, adding loads of lemon zest and lemon juice to make it tangy. So I'm doing the same here, just popping out the seed, and we're going to mix this up, season it ever so gently, and then do something I like to call an aflata, which is to slightly cook it, because we want to make sure the egusi is cooked before we put it into the pasta pockets. And over here I've done that. I've simply just heated it up gradually in the microwave for a couple of minutes. Egusi can take a lot of water, so feel free to add a little bit more moisture. Next thing, I'm gonna go in and get some fresh herbs in my makeshift garden. We're using 100% West African ingredients. So these are scent leaves, which are an actual relative to somewhere between mint and basil. And whilst I'm out here, I'm just appreciating my sweet potato leaves. They make a lovely stew. Back in the kitchen, I'm just gonna chop up the herbs and then add them to our vegan ravioli filling, which is the egusi. Let's just call it egusi. That's what it is, isn't it? West African inspirations right here. We learn a lot from the way we cook in other countries. I did not add too much flavor here, just a little bit of salt, the herbs, freshly cracked pepper, and you know, once you mix it up with the herbs, it's actually ready for the filling stage into the pasta ravioli pockets. If you have a pasta maker, here comes the fun. If you don't, you can do this with a regular rolling pin. Now, I've made pasta over the years with a rolling pin, and that was perfectly fine for me. I've recently acquired an actual pasta maker, and this is my very first time using it. It took some getting used to, but it's pretty swift and easy. All you have to do is exercise a little patience, use a little bit of flour to prevent sticking, and I recommend going from setting 0 up to 4 maximum, because I was overzealous at the beginning and made my pasta sheets too thin. They were not usable at all. But guys, it's just a matter of following the instructions on your manufacturer's handbook, and this was relatively easy. It fits on any counter. Guys, if you are interested in getting your own pasta maker, this was relatively inexpensive on Amazon. I have included an affiliate link in the comments so that you can check it out for yourself. No pressure, guys. And we're ready for the next step. As you can see, this process is quite user-friendly. You only need regular kitchen tools to do this. And I'm going to show you the 2 methods I've used to make my ravioli pockets. If you have cookie cutters, you are good to go. All you have to do is take one sheet, place a little bit of ravioli filling spaced out, and then I'm using water to form a kind of glue, popping over another pasta sheet on top, and then get out as much air as you can as possible, if that makes any sense. And next step is take a cookie cutter and punch out some shapes. And it's just as easy as pie, no specialist equipment necessary. If you don't have cookie cutters, you can also use a knife. Now, I am my mother's daughter, and this means that several years ago, I bought myself an actual ravioli maker. So I'm going to make my next batch with that, as demonstrated. Watch on and enjoy. So just as before, I'm going to take out an evenly sided pasta sheet, fill it up with the Egusi ravioli filling. What shall we call this? This is our vegan Egusi ravioli filling. 100% dairy free, 100% plant-based, and I might even add 100% West African inspired. Guys, we have cooking techniques you need to get on with. All right? There's so much knowledge out here. Next step, grab your second pasta sheet, cover it up, and then take a rolling pin and press down and allow the ravioli maker to do its work. And the little nudging, and look at how perfect that is. I've got to hand it to you. The ravioli maker makes things look so much better. But guys, this is home food. It's nourishing no matter what the shape. Just have a go. The final step in this saga is to make a creamy sauce, and for that I have gone to my favorite nuts. That's the cashew nut. So I'm just going to blitz it into a powder, add some water, and cook it up in a fry pan and build up the flavors as we would with an ordinary ravioli sauce. To a hot pan, I'm using olive oil, and I had a brainwave to use a little bit of shea butter, so that's what I'm adding, you know, see if it adds a bit of creaminess. And once that is hot, you're gonna add in your cashew nut cream and add a lot of moisture because it thickens. So I'm just adding some of the pasta water in there and stir, make sure it doesn't get lumpy. It only takes a matter of seconds. It doesn't need that much cooking, just a little bit of flavor building, and we're gonna come to that. Salt your pan of boiling water, add in your ravioli and cook for just a couple of minutes. And now it's time to finish our cashew creamy sauce, or creamy cashew sauce, whatever you want to call it. And going along with the same flavor profile, I'm going to add some lemon zest, lemon juice, and the herbs, the scent leaves. Feel free to use mint, feel free to use basil, feel free to use oregano. I have no doubt that either of these will be amazing. And there we have a lovely thick sauce. It doesn't have to be too thick, guys. It's just a creamer. It's just something to break up and sauce up the ravioli. It doesn't even need much cooking. You know, it's heated through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in my ravioli. Add in your ravioli one by one. And guys, just for aesthetic reasons, I'm not going to stir it up. It really does look like a creamy mess, which doesn't look great on camera. You know, it is home food, but what can I say? There is the done deal. There is the done deal. Look at it. It looks just like ravioli. And here's another shot. I'm just going to garnish with the sauce. You're going to get to admire it. We're putting it outside in light just to get some good images for you guys so you can imagine exactly what this is like. Have a look around. It's beautiful. And I'm going to cut in it right now. You're gonna see the inside of it. But guys, there you have it, a 100% West African inspired Egusi ravioli. That is pumpkin seed, your vegan Egusi ravioli filling, and it looks just right. Enjoy. Question for you guys, would you make this at home? And you know what, I think I'll make this again with bolder West African flavors next time.